Hello, it's Paul T again, coming at you, and today we're going to discuss how to become wealthy and retire rich. And this was inspired by requests about things like the stock market and investing, but let's start at the basics. And also, there was an article by Dr. David Eifrig of Stansberry Research on January 3rd, 2019, just yesterday. And I do want to give credit to him. It is a paid research service, but I do recommend it, and I am a subscriber. Um, so, anyway, okay, so if you do want to become wealthy and retire rich, the first thing that you must be able to do is to save money. If you are unable to save money, then you will never be wealthy. Okay, so just come to grips with that. Okay, so if you are not saving money, if you will not save money or cannot save money, if you're not doing it, you will never be wealthy. So I just want to make that very clear. It has to become a priority. And if you truly desire to become wealthy, this is the first step. Save money. And that involves spending less than you earn. And spending less than you earn is simply a habit that you gain over time. It's a discipline, or it's an exercise of your willpower. But again, if you spend less than you earn, then you will save money. And if you can't do this, then just remain poor. Now, we've all heard stories of lottery winners and people who have a windfall amount of money come their way, but in a matter of a few short years, they burn through it because of high living. They're just living profligately and just burn through the money because they don't know how to save it, and also they don't know how to invest it. Okay, one sort of trick to saving money is the concept of paying yourself first. And we all pay bills because we have to. So when the bill comes and we don't pay it, then obviously whatever the service that we're paying the bill for gets canceled, right? And so we learn if we want certain things, we got to pay the bills. And so we work hard and pay the bills, but we have nothing left over. So a lot of people, that is how you live from day to day, and you can never get ahead because there are always bills and you're always paying your bills. But if you pay yourself first, and this is a concept where you, let's say, budget 10%. So if you earn $100, every $100 you earn, you take $10 and you pay yourself first. And then you go pay your other bills. Okay, so that's just a trick to be able to pay yourself first. And then you could increase the amount to 20% or even 50% or whatever amount you're able to sustain. Okay, so again, you do need to budget and make it a discipline, a habit, right, that you do without question. And then, just like exercise or anything else, it gets easier over time. Okay, so the first step, definitely save money. Spend less than you earn. Simple as that. Okay, now here is a quote from the article by Dr. David Eifrig. He says, according to a survey from the website Bankrate, 19% of Americans do not save any of their annual income. Another 21% only saves 5% or less. And only 16% of Americans save more than 15%, which is generally accepted as the proper amount to save. Okay, um, so a lot of people are struggling living from paycheck to paycheck. And, if you are in that circumstance and you want to break out of the rat race, you've got to make some tough decisions, and just if you have that desire to gain wealth, you will start saving money. And I know that emergencies happen, but if you have a savings account, it should be dedicated to investments, and you don't touch it no matter what. I mean, some emergencies are absolutely, I mean, you have to dip into savings, but it should be rare or never at all. Like if you can will yourself, because some people go from crisis to crisis. There's always an emergency around the corner, and it just eats up your savings, and so you can never get ahead. So here is the ultimatum. If you want to be wealthy, you must save your money. Now, here is a great book that I read a long time ago. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon, and it is a classic. And I believe that reading this book will help you to understand the impact that debt can have on your life, and on the lives of pretty much everyone you know. And hopefully, it will give you motivation. It is a classic, written many, many years ago. Over 2 million copies in print. And I do think it's tried and true wisdom, okay, that hopefully can be imparted on you. And you could order the book on Amazon.com or anywhere. Just go to your local bookstore. They probably do have a copy, or you could order it. All right. Okay, so now the second step. If you are able to save money, then pay off all your debt. Okay, especially if it is high interest debt like credit card debt. Pay that all off, because your debt, if your debt keeps growing, then you will never be free, especially if it's at a high interest rate. Then you're just paying your creditor. There is this idea of compound interest, and one of the smartest people to ever live, his name is Albert Einstein. He called it, the miracle of compound interest. His quote here is, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." And I believe that to be true. And Einstein definitely was a smart guy. So it's not my quote, it's Einstein. So hopefully you can take that to heart. Also, there is something called the Rule of 72, and here is a chart. And basically, it sort of outlines how long it will take for compound interest to double your money, but it also works in reverse, right? So if you are paying something at, let's say, a 4% annual interest rate, if all you do is pay that 4% and you never touch the principal, you will have pretty much paid double what you owe in 18 years, right? So 18 years is a long time, but on the other hand, the next step of becoming wealthy is to compound your savings over many years, right? And so you want the miracle of compound interest to work for you, not to be a slave to the creditor who wants you to pay the minimum on your credit cards or other debt, so that they are reaping the rewards of the Rule of 72. Or, basically, the if you're paying the minimum, it will take you a very long time to pay off your debt. But if you are able to save and you are able to eliminate your debt so that you become debt free, then you are truly able to save more money. It becomes easier to live because you have less bills, and all the extra money that you earn can then be devoted to saving. So it's sort of a cycle, a virtuous cycle, where you become wealthier and wealthier. And guess what? If you have investments that earn an annual rate of interest, right, whether it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%, then, or even more, right, because that is possible, like real estate. If you are the landlord and people are paying you rent, right, you're able to compound your principal, the amount of money that you saved, the amount of money that you have invested. If you are able to compound that, you know, even at like a 4% rate of return, which isn't that, I mean, it's not that hard to do, then your money, your investment will double in 18 years, right? So, I mean, that is the idea of compound interest. And that was what Albert Einstein was getting at. But again, none of this helps you. None of this works out if you are first not able to save any money. So if you are in a position where you want to become wealthy, but you don't think that you can, I mean, maybe you never will, because you will never, if you never save money, you will never be wealthy. I'm just letting you know that. So please, if you do think that that you really do want to become wealthy, you can be. I have no doubt that anyone who lives in America, even getting minimum wage, can become wealthy. But first, you must spend less than you earn, save money, pay yourself first, and then get out of all debt. And you could do that. You may not think you can, but you can, right? But you've got to make some sacrifices and have the discipline and willpower to see the way through, and you will become wealthy and retire rich. I virtually guarantee it. But again, it is up to you, and that is what all I have to say for now. I will get into other aspects, like more of the minutia of stocks and yields and earnings and valuation. There's a lot to it, but I'm just trying to make this a quick and dirty segment. Hopefully that helps. Thanks. Bye bye.